Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, welcome to Am I the Asshole Podcast. Today is a beautiful Thursday episode, and you know what we got for Thursday? We got our book hooked. Woo! And let me tell you, I am hooked. I'm sure I've made that that joke before, but it is true though. Man, oh man, am I hooked on this book. Goodness gracious. It is dark and it is sexy. Woo! Our girl Wendy, she getting it. I ain't gonna lie to you, she getting it. God damn. Oh my goodness. We're gonna keep going through and we're gonna keep going through these experiences with her, you know what I mean? She is like, God damn, I ain't ever been touched like this, you know? Shoo! We're going to do 3 chapters today. We're going to have 21, 22, and 23. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, we have a very interesting thread that is a bit befitting of today's episode. The thread is, what is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? All right, so let's see what embarrassing things happened to y'all while you was kind of getting it in with your people, all right? Okay, our first one. Early in our relationship, my boyfriend and I were making out in his car. We started touching each other more intimately. When I brushed over him, his bulge felt thicker than usual, so I thought he was really turned on. Kept stroking him for a while. He finally stopped me and let me know I've been getting physical with a leather wallet for a solid 10 minutes. She was just like, whoa, oh my God. Wow, you must really be horny right now. And he's like, girl, what are you touching? That's my wallet. I bet she felt stupid. She was like, oh, my bad. That's funny. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, on to the next one. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened during intercourse? Went to a party and ended up sleeping with the party girl who I only just met. Woke up in the morning with her mom standing over both of us. Oh no, we were absolutely naked with not even a blanket over us, and she asked if I wanted a cup of coffee. Ended up being friends for a long time with the whole family. Her dad and I became good mates. Was embarrassing at the time, but ended pretty epic. That's crazy. I guess they just kind of knew that this was their daughter's MO, you know, they just knew. She belongs to the streets. And they were like, hey, what's up, man? You want some coffee? Like, you ain't the only nigga to be in her bed naked, you know what I mean? Like, this is an everyday occurrence for them, I guess. That's crazy, bro. Wow, that's crazy. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? First night in Vegas, wife was on top. In an effort to slap her butt, I slapped my balls just enough to want to instantly die. She brings up the look on my face to this day. Oh, yeah. See, that's why, you know, when you're scouting territory that you can't see, you gotta feel it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you could have a little bit of friendly fire, you know? Oh, and I bet you he was going for like a hard smack and just got his nutsack. Oh, brother. Yeah, buddy. Oh, tough. That's tough. Oh, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? Got chatting to a woman in a nightclub. We hit it off and she came back to mine. Just as the tip touched her uvula, or vulva, sure, yeah, I came and that was all she wrote. Bro, what? My man was he just rubbed it against the outside and was like, woo, damn, son. That's crazy. Oh my God. I wonder, were you a virgin? Was she like super hot and that just, you know, instantly made you just, it just busted all over the entrance. Like, bruh. Oh, she laughed her ass off and called for a taxi. Never saw her again. Yeah, facts, bro. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to see her either. If I'm being honest with you, if I busted that fast, there ain't no way I would want to see her again. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? With an ex was once eating her out and she squished my face into her vagina and gave me a nosebleed. My thought process was, wow, she's really wet more than usual. Oh shit, that's blood. My blood. That's crazy. That's crazy. I ran downstairs to the bathroom, cleaned up, and came up to her crying and apologizing because she thought she started her period on my face. We had a good cuddle while I explained to her what happened and comfort her that even if she was the case, or even if that was the case, she didn't need to apologize. Damn, son. She thought she had her period. The man like, nah, man, you fucking squished my face. That's crazy. Damn, man. She must have had some thunder thighs on her. For her to like squish your face that hard to the point where your nose is bleeding, that's insane. I ain't gonna lie to you, that's insane. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. It be what it be. The most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse. At the time, I had a metal bed frame. She was riding me and I was giving thrust support from the bottom. And we all of a sudden hear a loud creaking groan from the bed, like scraping metal. She stops, I stop. We both look over to the side of the bed and back at each other like it's a comedy movie. We started up again, and not even a minute later, the legs on the frame buckle and we come crashing down. We turned it into a joke in our group because, of course, we told everyone that we fucked so hard we bent steel. Hey, man, that's how you know the coochie is good. If you're out here bending a metal bed frame, the coochie must have been fire, sir. Oh my goodness, it must have been fire. And I ain't ever, and I mean ever, had some coochie that fire to the point where we bent steel, baby. God damn. That is what I'm talking about. Hey, that must have been some A1. Won't lie. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? I ate too many hot Cheetos before giving head, made myself gag too much, and I puked it all back on his dick. Oh. He asked me out a week later. Nigga, come on, man, for real? He was just like, hey, I know you puked on my dick, but like, you want to go out sometime? Like, nigga, I give it to him. At least he didn't let, a little bit of puke, let's just say it, stop him from, finding love. But hey, to each its own. For me, I'm sorry, but I probably wouldn't call her back. I'd be like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I would. That'd be tough. You know what I mean? It'd be a tough one. I would feel bad. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it would be hard for me to kind of like see her again. It would be hard for me to like get head from her again, because then, it'd be a thing where I'm like kind of scared the whole time that she's gonna puke on my dick, But it is what it is, I guess. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? Farted for like easily a solid 15 seconds straight. Loud, smelled horrible. Truly a work for the backdoor history book. Sex stopped, but I think he was genuinely impressed by how bad the fart was. He kept dating me afterwards. We've been married for 10 years and we clearly got over it. Damn. Thank God I have never had the girl or even me do some shit like that where, we just doing our thing and then just like, and you're like, was that you? You know what I mean? Thank God I've never had that happen, because the embarrassment would be unbearable, man. The embarrassment would be unbearable for me. I won't lie to you. Woo, shit. Hey, at least it worked out for them. They've been married for 10 years. Hey, W to them, you know what I mean? W to them. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? We were rolling on ecstasy. I used to let her put a glass dildo on my butt sometimes. All right, man. What?
What did he say?
That's crazy. That's crazy. You did some crazy shit for booty. All right, man. It didn't even feel that great, but I think just the taboo nature of it kind of got me off. Anyway, nah, nigga, you gay and you like some shit in your butthole. Stop it. And this man over here talking about, it's kind of taboo, and it's kind of like, I didn't really like it. Come on, man. You liked it. It's cool. You ain't gotta lie to us. You know what I mean? Come on now. You ain't gotta lie to us, brother. Anyway, she's going down on me and working the dildo and occasionally looks up at me, drool everywhere, to beg me to come for her. This is an extremely effective move on her part. Yeah, see, but she could do it without literally fucking your butt with a dildo. Like, I thought she just put it in there and just left it. No, she is moving it in and out of his butthole. Like, come on, man. You know you liked it. Like, come on now. My eyes are rolling back in my head. Yeah, because the dildo on your butt. You know, it's cool. I'm launching into space, but as the orgasmic tension flips to release, suddenly I'm letting out a 10-second fart inches from her face. I'm coming and farting in the little burst as my muscle spasm. The lube makes it sound wet and disgusting. To her credit, she didn't give me a tough time about it. I was mortified, though, perhaps bringing a notorious queefer herself, or being a notorious queefer herself. She didn't feel like she had space to complain. I don't really think it was a fart. Maybe you just butt queefed, you know? Like you ever think about that? Might have just been a normal butt queef kind of thing. You know, I don't know. I just think that's kind of crazy, a little weird, but hey, to each its own. Do your thing, brother. And I just hate how he tried to be like, I don't really like it or anything. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, bro. I bet you were like I bet he was trying to get his homies into it and be like, yo, man, hey, I'm not gay or nothing, but my girl put a dildo in my butt, bro, and then sucked my dick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Saying that with like the banana bread dude voice is hilarious. She put a dildo in my butt, dude. She put a dildo in my butt, dude, and it felt kind of amazing. Oh my god. Oh shit, that's insane. Oh, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you during intercourse? My braces literally got caught on his foreskin.
What did he say?
No. Oh, for like a good 4 minutes. Yeah, bro. No, thank you. Oh, now don't get me wrong. I have gotten head from girls with braces before. Thank God that's never happened. Well, no. Okay, I had one time where like the tip hit the rubber bands in her mouth. That hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you, that hurt. It was a thing where like she was kind of like bobbing on it, you know, and then like I think she was trying to like get it in her cheek, you know, my penis, trying to get it in her cheek, and it just rammed right into the rubber band. I was like, oh. I was like, what was that? And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That was my rubber band. And I was like, your rubber band? What? And she was like, yeah, I have rubber bands in my mouth. And I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. The rubber bands I didn't know that that's what it was. I thought that was like her tongue, but nah, it was the rubber bands that were kind of like rubbing on the side of my dick. I was like, yo, that feels fire. Won't lie to you. But just don't ram the tip into the rubber bands. That's what hurts. All right. Yeah. You know, the more you know. Doom. Just saying. Oh shit. But thank God I've never had it get stuck in the foreskin. Jesus Christ. Woo. Ouch. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? I had just started dating my now wife. We started fucking in the shower and then decided to move to the bed in the hotel. I pulled out to come on her, but I was 28 and fucking shot right in my own eye. Bro, what? I started laughing, but she thought I was crying. That shit burned so bad. Bro, how in the hell does that happen? Really, how does that happen? Like all you do is just pull out and then shoot. My man pulled out and then up. Like, what are you doing? And then you had to be looking down in order for it to shoot in your eye. Like, bro, come on, man. There was just too many like points of error in this one. Like, what are we doing here, man? God damn it, dude. Like, oh God. Hey, thank God I've never had that happen. Goodness gracious. But let's be honest, I'm not a shooter anymore anyway. I'm more of a dribbler now, you know. It just is what it is. You get older, man, you know. All right, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? This was back during COVID, and both my partner and I were enrolled in online college classes. He was heading over to my house and was attending a Zoom class while driving. He got to my house, and I hopped in his car. We were talking, then started getting freaky. He was touching my nipples at first. They started getting freakier, and ended up fucking in his car quickly, dirty talking everything. After we were done, he realized he had failed to mute his online Zoom session, so everyone in the class, including professor, heard the entire thing. Yo, god damn. Everyone was messaging him to mute himself and laughing, and the professor was trying to figure out how to mute my boyfriend himself, but couldn't. Even worse, the lecture was being recorded and was released to the class with the sound of us fucking in the background. My boyfriend dropped the course and never returned. Damn, son. Oh, damn. I know the dudes in the class were like, yeah, clap them cheeks. I mean, the professor was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to lose my job. Because I know that's what I would be thinking. I'd be like, holy fuck, I'm going to lose my job. Bro, there ain't no way in hell. Like, the fact that it was being recorded is crazy. Oh, dude. And I know why they record the classes. It's so that way people who didn't get the lecture or didn't catch the lecture live, they can download the lecture and then watch it over again. I know because I'm in business school right now. I'm getting my master's degree in business, and it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes I just have a busy schedule and I'm not able to catch the lesson live, or I'll come in like halfway and stuff like that. So I'm able to download the lesson later on and then check it out. But I would die hearing that. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Oh, again, I bet the teacher was just like, fuck, I'm going to lose my job. Damn. All right, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? Thank God no one knows this is me. Basically, I believe that I have a mommy kink. I like being called mommy. My boyfriend and I were having sex, and right when he was about to come, I told him to call me mommy, and he immediately stopped and said, I'm not calling you that. Mood ruined, and I cried. We talked about it, but that was definitely a rough for a week or two. Now, for me, I ain't gonna lie. If I'm in the middle of, you know, the hump session, there ain't nothing I'm not going to call you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, if that's what you want to be called, that's what I'm gonna call you. I'm not gonna ruin the mood and ruin my nut because you want to be called mommy. Now we are gonna have a conversation afterwards. All right, I'm gonna be like, yo, clean your dirty whore ass up, and then we're gonna have a conversation because what? Why do you want to be called that? What the fuck is going on here? Now, look, I understand, you know, for some people, that's hot. I get it. And that's the only reason why I would kind of participate in it. I'd be like, look, bro, outside of sex, I ain't calling you that shit. During sex, sure, maybe. Because, you know what I mean? I ain't going to lie to you. During the hump sesh, for me, personally, there ain't no blood up here. All my blood's down there. I mean, let's just be straight. Like, all the blood, it ain't up here. I got just enough, to where, like, it keeps me alive, but all the blood's down here, man. You know what I mean? My toes is numb. like your boy is in hump mode. All right. So I ain't got no problem with that. And there ain't no way in hell I would be just like, oh, I'm fins to come. Oh, call me mommy. And then I'm like, wait, hold up. No. What are we doing here? No. I'm about to be like, mommy, oh. And they're like, come on, man. What are we doing here? That's some crazy shit. But I would definitely have a conversation with that. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Why? Why do you want to be called that? Hey, some women like it. You know what I mean? Some women like the whole daddy thing. I don't really care for that. I'm like, do it. Again, outside of sex is where I have a problem with it. During the hump session, I got you, fam. But outside the hump session, no, we ain't doing that. All right, what's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you during intercourse? I sneezed all over him. I'm allergic to cats, and he had 5. I did not even know it was coming until it was shooting out like a rocket. We laughed about it, luckily, but yeah, damn. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. If she sneezed and your dick was inside her, I bet that felt amazing. Woo! I ain't gonna lie to you. I've had this happen before. It's never been a thing where she sneezed all over me. She kind of like turned her head and sneezed. But won't lie. Or if you make a girl laugh while your dick is inside of her, it like clamps down on you in such a way where you're like, oh. It's one of the best feelings ever. I won't lie to you. It is an amazing feeling. I don't know why. I don't know what happens, but you know what I mean? The vagina just does its thing, and you're like, that feels amazing. It's just the way it goes, man. It's just the way it is. And I mean, yeah. All right, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? I accidentally farted while receiving a BJ. Tried to apologize, but she was pissed and kicked me out of her place. Pretty embarrassing, but my friends laughed their asses off. Yeah, bro. That's a tough one, man. Hey, and it sucks because you necessarily like in the moment of feeling good, you're not really thinking about like holding in a fart. You're not really thinking about that shit at all. You're so focused on like, oh my God, the pleasure is feeling so amazing. And it just slips out, it just, or like, it's a real quick one, just quick, you don't even know. But obviously they know because they're smelling it and they're, they're in ground zero. But hey, I mean, sometimes you just can't help it. You just can't help it. Because I've been there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've had a time where, doing a good old ye old doggy style. And, she farted, but I was like, I'm not. I don't have to breathe for the next 15 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It happens. The fact that she kicked you out, I think that's crazy. I think it was a thing where, yeah, she probably didn't really like y'all that much. I don't know why she was sucking your dick. I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, that tells me, I don't think that relationship really worked out or she even really liked you like that. Let's be honest here, But hey, it is what it is, man. All right, we're going to do 2 more and then we'll hop on into our book for today. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? The Spotify playlist started playing a Thrush commercial because I didn't have full subscription at the time. What the fuck is a Thrush commercial? What is that? Now, that would be crazy if this was an ED commercial. That would be crazy. And it's just like, can you not get it up anymore? Well, you need hymns. And homeboy's just like, is your Spotify trying to tell me something? You know what I mean? Like, that would suck. I think that's what Thrush is, right? I would think. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. We can Google it really quick. Yeah, we can Google it real quick. Hold on. Let's see. What is Thrush? Let's see. Thrush is a common yeast infection, often appearing as white patches on the tongue and mouth. Oh. All right. Well, that is a little, if you ask me, like, all right. Like, yeah, that's kind of disgusting. Yeah, that's kind of disgusting. I bet he was just like, yeah, I don't think I want to put my dick in your mouth. Yeah. Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is, bro. Oh my God. I bet the commercial was just like, does your girlfriend have white bits on her tongue? She's got thrush. And you're just like, do you want to tell me something? Because let me pull out your tongue, girl. Let me see if you got white bits on your tongue. All right, this will be our last one. What was the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you during intercourse? This was in the UK, was mid-flow in the back of my first car with my new girlfriend. After a while, I was just reaching the vinegar strokes, all right, when these headlights flashed in the back window. Unbeknownst to us, this car had parked up behind us silently during our session. I panicked and dived into the driver's seat, bullock naked. He means butt naked. Goddamn UK people. And started driving. Had to catch my own jizz with a free hand. What in the hell?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Okay, sure. Let's see. I later found out we were regularly having car sex in what was a local dogging spot. What the fuck is that? I guess we're going to have to go back to ye old Google. Any non-UK folk, Google doggying etiquette. Okay. All right. Well, let's Google it. What is dogging etiquette? Let's see. DOGGING. Is that how you spell it? Etiquette, right? Oh no, it's EET. All right. What is it? ETIQU. ETTE. All right, let's see what this is, because I have no idea. Dogging etiquette refers to the unwritten rules and guidelines that have developed within the dogging community. Wait, what? Okay. It's apparently like rules, I guess. It says they're unwritten rules and guidelines that have developed within the community and an activity involving exhibition of sex in a public or semi-public space. So I guess where they were doing it is like a major public sex spot. Like that's where they do their thing. All right, hey man, it's to each its own, I guess. I don't know, bruh. Like, do you? If this was a public dogging spot, then why the hell did you have to catch your jizz and drive away? You know what I mean? Like, were you that embarrassed? I guess, man. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, man. If you have a crazy, embarrassing little story you want to share it down in the comments, please do. And love to see you guys get a part of the thread. So before we get into today's 3 chapters, I have announcements. We'll hop through those super quick, and then we'll get right into chapters 21, 22, and 23. All right? So patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get that exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your snare to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday episodes. If you saw the Sunday episode, we did do an episode with AI. So if you want to have your scenario be featured by, or not featured, I'm sorry, to be, answered by the AI, then go ahead and definitely put that down at the bottom. And we'll do that. You guys seem to really like that episode. That episode seemed to be kind of popular for you guys. So, we'll definitely bring our girl Nova back. And if you want to have your scenario featured by Nova, then go ahead and make sure to put that at the end of the scenario to let me know. All right. So $3 a month gets you that exclusive episode every single Friday and the ability to send in your scenario and to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday episode. Audio listeners, my beautiful Apple Podcast people and Spotify people, keep downloading the episodes as well as rating us 5 stars. Helps out a lot. And I appreciate the support, man. I really, really do. All of that free support does go a long way, and it helps people come in here and check us out. All right. Appreciate you. Love you. If you want to help out even more, though, you can go ahead and follow us on TikTok as well as Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube, man. All of that is free, and it's an amazing way to help out the episodes, a way to help out the podcast in general. So I do appreciate when you guys get in there and you interact with us, and I just appreciate that. All right. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I know these episodes tend to be you guys' favorite episodes, so I always try to get, these episodes for you guys and make them as interesting as possible, as fun as possible, and as interactive for you guys. We are almost 50% done with this book, so we are going to be needing a new book pretty soon. So in the next coming weeks, I will definitely be asking you guys for your recommendations. You guys can give them now if you want to, but in the next coming weeks, I will be looking into recommendations for a new book. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's book. We have chapters 21, 22, and 23. So let's go ahead and get on into it.
21. Wendy. No one has ever done that to me before, and as my body floats back down to earth, the aftershocks of my orgasm give way to a tightening in my muscles, a need to please him back, to give him what he's just given me. I've never felt so wanted, so sexual, so free. And sure, we haven't talked yet, haven't had the meaningful conversations I've always imagined I'd have with the person who I give my firsts, but for some reason, this feels like enough, like he already knows me without needing to speak. It's possible I'm making a mistake. Maybe I'll wake up in the morning and regret my choice, but right now, I've never been so sure of anything in my life. I just want, for 1 second, to be able to let go. If I'm honest with myself, in the deepest parts of my mind and the darkest chambers of my heart, there are pieces of me hoping that maybe once my virginity is gone, the coat of innocence I can't seem to shed will disappear too. It's exhausting having everyone treat you as though you're something fragile, breakable, less than. Moira's words from earlier flash through my mind, and so do Maria's sharp jabs. Everyone sees me as a child, a young girl with no experience in the world, and for so long, I've let them speak their thinly veiled insults and backhanded compliments. I've let them assume that because I have soft features and don't speak out of turn, it means they're right. But I'm tired. And James, he makes me feel like a woman, like his equal, like I have a choice and he respects me to make it. He rises from his spot between my legs, his pink tongue licking along the seams of his lips as he gazes at me. Arousal swirls through my middle, my stomach flipping from his stare. I sit up, leaning on my elbows, my insides warm and my head floating. James made me ride the edge of consciousness, blackness rimming my vision and euphoria flooding through my veins, the pressure winding through my core combined with the press of his palm, making endorphins explode like fireworks. And now, I'm still riding the high. I crawl toward him, the couch cushions soft under my knees, praying that I don't look ridiculous. I have no clue what I'm doing, but for the first time, I unlock the clasp that latches my urges down deep, and I just do what feels good. My hand runs up his leg, the fabric of his pants soft under my palms. His gaze tracks my every move, his nostrils flaring as he stares down at me. I continue my trek upward, my stomach soaring and falling like a roller coaster as my palm meets the thick length between his legs. It's surprisingly stiff, different than I expected, and heat builds in my center, desperate to know what it feels like in the palm of my hand. "Can I touch you?" I ask. His blue eyes flash, his fingers moving to cup my cheek. His touch is so tender my heart skips, warmth spreading like molasses through my chest, and I lean into his hand, wanting to bask in the comfort it provides. "You never need permission to touch me, darling." He sits forward, pressing his mouth to mine, suckling my bottom lip before pulling back. "I'm yours, just as much as you're mine." His words spread through my body like a wildfire, and I push him back on the couch, my hands going to his belt and unzipping his pants. His hips lift, allowing me to strip him from the waist down until his cock bobs free, standing straight in the air. I sit back on my legs, heart ramming against my ribcage, nerves sizzling beneath my skin and making my hands clammy. It's bigger than I thought it would be, and thick, a large vein running up the underside and disappearing underneath the head. My tongue sneaks out to run along my lips, my insides tightening. James reaches down, the veins on his hand flexing as he wraps his finger around the shaft, stroking lewdly. My stomach cramps, an ache settling between my thighs, my already sensitive clit swelling from watching him pleasure himself. His free hand runs through his hair, mussing the already tousled strands, and I'm transfixed at the sight of him so disheveled, so opposite to how everyone else gets to see him. It's intoxicating to know that I'm the one who makes him this way. "Strip." His voice scrapes across my insides like gravel. A shiver shoots through me, and I sink into the comfort his direction provides, anxiety melting away, because I know he'll tell me what he needs. Okay. I trail my fingertips from the top of my throat, slowly running them down the length of my sore neck and over my collarbone, slipping underneath the strap of my dress, allowing the material to loosen from where it's resting on my shoulder. My eyes never stray from James's, his hand slowly working his length, his gaze zoned in on where my fingers are toying with the thin material of my dress. "I said strip, pet, not torture me to death." His words sink into my skin and meld with the marrow of my bones, making me feel powerful. Making me feel like if I can bring this man to his knees, then I can do anything. I let the strap fall off my shoulder, first one side, then the other. He bites his lip, his fingers squeezing the tip of his cock. His balls visibly tighten, and the sight makes my stomach flip. My arm splays across my chest, holding the fabric in place, a small grin sneaking onto my face. "Say please." His nostrils flare. "You're playing a very dangerous game." I lift a shoulder. "I'm just making sure you don't forget your manners, darling." Quick as lightning, he bolts off the couch, my body forced back onto my elbows. I gulp down air, my eyes roaming from his face to his hand that's still wrapped around his erection. It sticks straight out, liquid seeping from the tip as he moves his palm up and down, jerking off right in front of me. My legs squeeze together to ease the heavy ache throbbing between them. "Do you like watching me?" he purrs. "Like knowing it's you I'm desperate for?" His hand releases his length, moving to my waist. Butterflies burst in my stomach as he skims his fingers up my torso until they rest on the swell of my breasts. He slips under the sweetheart neckline of my dress, gliding back and forth in a teasing caress, sparks of arousal ricocheting off my insides and settling deep in my core. He pauses, his hand curling beneath the fabric. "I don't beg," he says. "Ever." My breath sticks in my lungs as a small smile graces his lips, and then he pulls. Hard. My body flings forward as he rips the dress from my frame, the fabric tearing, creating a burn against my skin. I exhale harshly, adrenaline and arousal mixing in my veins like a lethal cocktail, making me dizzy with want. His palm cups my breasts in his hand, manipulating the flesh beneath his fingers. Beautiful. He releases me and moves back to the opposite end of the couch, settling back into his reclined position. Now, strip. I stand on shaky legs, my palms trailing a line from the top of my chest down to my nipples, grasping them between my fingers and twisting. Tingles trickle through me with every pull, so I continue the motion, my eyes closing as I get lost in the way it makes me feel. Fuck, he whispers. My gaze springs open at the word. It's the first time he's cursed, and hearing it now makes my core throb. His hand glides down his abdomen, wrapping around his thick cock. You are always a vision, darling, but you look absolutely devastating while you touch yourself. I feel like a goddess under his stare, and as I remove the tattered remains of my dress and walk to him, I allow my newfound confidence to coast along my skin and fill up every pore. Climbing on the couch, I slide between his legs. My hands go back to their spot on his thighs, tracing up the muscles until I surround the base of his groin, my face inches from his length. Nerves tickle through my newfound confidence, and I blow out a shaky breath. Slowly, I slide my palm up until my fingers wrap around his shaft. For a moment, I just hold my hand there, taking in the feel of him. It's more malleable than I expected, and when I squeeze my fingers, it jumps. A giggle bursts out of me. A low chuckle rumbles through his body, his teeth gleaming from his grin. I can assure you, laughter is not something a man wants to hear when you're face down in his lap. I shake my head. No, I'm sorry. It's just, I've never... I move my hand experimentally, sliding it up the length and running my fingers over the tip. Will you show me how you like it? His palm wraps around mine, making my grip tighter, before moving us in tandem, stroking him up, twisting at the top, and then moving back down. I breathe deep, my core contracting. He sits up, his free hand cupping my cheek, like he knows I need the comfort. I like that you've never done this before. There's nothing you can do to me that I won't enjoy. Understand? I nod. Good girl. He lays back. Now, put your mouth on it. My chest expands at his praise, the urge to please him filling me from the inside out. I lean in, my mouth parting as I suck him between my lips, my jaw stretching to accommodate him. His hand shoots down to tangle in my hair. My tongue swirls around the flesh, surprise flowing through me at the taste, and when the tip of my tongue finds the ridge on his head and flicks, he groans, his palm pushing me farther onto him. My eyes widen, but I don't resist, allowing him to push me down. One of his hands trails from my hair to my jaw, his fingers massaging the muscles as though he's urging them to relax. Such a perfect girl, he coos. Pride shoots through me like a bullet, and I double my efforts, his length filling my mouth until he hits the back of my throat. My eyes water from the sting, a slight ache radiating through my jaw. How am I supposed to keep doing this? The vein on the underside of his shaft pulses on my tongue and I moan, a rush of desire surging through me. I've never felt as powerful as I do in this moment, bending over a man who bleeds dominance and making him come apart at the seams. He jerks my head back, his cock literally popping out of my mouth. The rush of air makes me gasp, and tears well in my eyes from the sudden shift. Was it... I suck in a breath. Was it not okay? He smiles but doesn't speak, moving forward until his arms wrap around my body so he can lift me up. He carries me through the hallway and into his room, tossing me on his bed, my body bouncing off the soft mattress and silky sheets. You did wonderful, pet. His lips trail up my legs, laving kisses along every inch of my body. Too well. He rises above me, his knees placed between my thighs, his frame casting a shadow over my body. I reach forward, my fingers grasping for the buttons on his shirt, but his hand comes down and stops me, his jaw tensing as he shakes his head no. The rejection burns its way through my insides, and I snap my hand back, heat flooding my cheeks. I wait for an explanation, but it never comes, and I don't want to ruin the moment by asking. His touch runs up the length of my body as he lowers himself on top of me, his teeth scraping along my jaw. A gush of wetness seeps from my core, pooling underneath me on the sheets. He thrusts his hips forward, the tip of his cock sliding against my swollen clit, pleasure swirling deep in my abdomen. Tell me you're mine. My center clenches around air, stomach tensing as the coil wraps tighter. I'm yours. Prove it. He moves his tip to my opening, his cock glistening from sliding between my lips. But he doesn't move. He simply waits. Take it, James. His eyes lock on mine for long moments, and I reach up, stroking his jaw with my fingers. I trust you. A flash of something coasts across his eyes. You shouldn't. I don't have time to think about his words before he glides inside of me, a sharp sting splicing through my body. I inhale quickly, my body tensing around him, immediately wanting to fight against the intrusion. He grits his teeth. You have to relax, or I'll never fit inside you. I bite my lip and nod, the fear of disappointing him worse than the fear of the pain. His hand grips the nape of my neck, dragging my face to his. I'll take care of you, darling. Breathe through the pain. He blows out a breath, and I suck it in, a tear escaping from the corner of my eye. Stupid. I try to move my hand to wipe it from my cheek, but he bats it away, his mouth pressing kisses along my jaw until he reaches the path of wetness, licking it up. His hips move forward, but stalls as he hits resistance, and then with a single thrust, he pushes through. My arms fly around his shoulders, my fingernails pressing into him so tightly I'm sure they draw blood. Our breaths mingle in the space between us, and when he starts to slowly move, his lips skim mine with every thrust. The sting is now accompanied by a deep throbbing, like a bruise that's settling in deep, but I focus on the fullness instead of the pain. Does it feel good? I ask. His hips press deeper. You feel incredible. As he continues to move inside me, the sting gives way to a blissful numbness, allowing me to focus on the sharp angles of his face, on the way that his eyes soak me in like I'm sunshine, and he's desperate for the rays. The discomfort is still there, but there's also a tendril of pleasure unfurling through my middle, simply from feeling him inside me, from the knowledge that I'm the one making him feel this way, that he's letting down his guard for me. I lift my upper body off the bed, my breasts mashing into the fabric of his shirt. Are you going to come inside of me? I whisper into his ear, my body flushing from the filthy words leaving my lips. I'm not sure what gives me the courage to say it, but somehow, whenever I'm with him, I do things I never knew I could. His hips falter, his hands grabbing my arms from around him and pinning them above my head, his palms wrapping around my wrists. Is that what you want? He asks. Want me to split you apart and come so deep you'll feel me for days? I moan, my abs tensing and legs shaking. Yes. His hips push faster, his balls slapping against me on every thrust, his palms pressing so deep on my wrists that my hands tingle. And then he tenses, his movements turning choppy as he presses in as deep as he can go. I can feel him pulse, spurt after spurt, shooting deep inside of me, his low groan making my inner walls clench, trying to milk it out. He collapses on top of me, his fingers loosening from my wrists, and I swear to God in this moment I've never felt closer to anyone than I do to him. This man I've only known for days, yet he treats me like I'm precious, like I'm his. His breathing is ragged, his face resting in the crook of my neck, and my hands come up to his head, stroking down his hair and over the tops of his shoulders. He shivers under my touch, and I smile, my heart swelling. I was worried I'd regret allowing him to take my virginity, but all I feel is relief that it's gone. James took that fragile girl and threw her somewhere I can't find, and at least for now, I'm basking in her absence.
22. James. It's been years since my mind has been quiet, even longer since I've been able to relax, even in the comfort of my own home. But last night I fell deep into a dreamless sleep and woke up wrapped around Wendy's curves. I hadn't planned to come inside her, but the thought of her swelling with my child right in front of her father's eyes, right before I slit his throat, had my balls tightening and cum shooting out of my tip before I could even finish the fantasy. She unhinges me in a way I don't quite understand, but I enjoy the dreamless nights and the comfort she provides upon waking. I lean down, breathing in her scent, my cock thickening against her backside. She stirs in my arms, murmuring something as her eyes flutter open. My chest pulls. "Good morning, darling." She grins, her face still slack from sleep, and raises her arms above her head, stretching. The movement pushes her body into mine, causing blood to rush to my groin. I want to take her again. Harder this time. But I resist, knowing she must be sore. Surprisingly, the thought of her in pain does nothing to excite me. "Morning?" She shoots up in bed, running a hand through her tangled hair. "What time is it?" "I'm not sure. You don't have a clock?" Her forehead scrunches. My jaw clenches. I haven't been too worried about the time since there's something much more important in my bed. Her frantic movements stall, pink flooding her cheeks. "Oh," she whispers. I lean in, pressing my lips to hers. "Yes, oh." Her body melts into mine as she peers at me through her lashes. "I have to go. I promised my brother I'd take him to his new school today." Brother? I've known about him, of course, but it occurs to me that Wendy doesn't realize that, so I lift my brows in what I hope is a surprised expression, tilting my head the slightest amount. "Brother?" "Yeah," she laughs, shaking her head. "Sometimes it's easy to forget we don't actually know each other well." My arms wrap around her waist, pulling her into my chest. I feel as though we got to know each other fairly well last night. My teeth nip her ear. She giggles. "You know what I mean." She turns in my arms, looking up at me. "Do you have any siblings?" Ice trickles through my veins, freezing out any lingering warmth. "No family, I'm afraid. Just me." Her gaze bounces from my eyes to my lips and back. "Oh, I'm sorry." I brush off her concern. "Don't be, darling. Family couldn't handle the likes of me anyway." Her mouth turns down, but she doesn't push. I'm thankful for it, not wanting to come up with an elaborate story of how I loved and lost, when the reality is it was her family who took mine away. "My brother is 16, and he's starting a new school today," she says. "Which school?" Her face pinches. "Some boarding school outside of the city. He says he's fine with it, but..." She sighs, running a hand through her hair. "He doesn't have the best experience with other kids. and I don't want him to be stuck living at a place where he can't get away from the torment." Her eyes grow glassy, and I reach out, wiping away a stray tear. "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm crying so much around you." She wipes her cheeks. "I promise I'm not like this all the time." "Don't apologize. I want to be the one you turn to when life gets hard." Her eyes gain a curious sheen, and she leans in, kissing me softly. Small, simple pecks, but they make my stomach tighten all the same. "Okay." "Do you want me to go with you?" The words are out of my mouth before I can think them through, and I bite back the cringe that wants to work its way onto my face. Why would I offer that? Her eyes light up like the 4th of July, her fingers grasping the fabric of my shirt. "Would you? She swallows. "That would be really nice. Plus, then you'd get to meet John." I force a smile, mentally berating myself for offering something I truly don't have time to give. But I can't pull out now, and if it provides her with a modicum of extra support and comfort, the type that her father is so clearly not providing, I'll do it. I'm standing in the middle of Peter Michaels's home. Wendy has gone upstairs to change, having worn my clothing on the trip back, since I tore hers in two. And she has left me alone, because she trusts me. I walk around the living area, rage simmering in my veins, as I take in the smiling faces within the picture frames, a happy family making memories while I was living nightmares. Moving down the long hallway, I peer in a few different rooms until I finally come to the office. My stomach tightens as I step inside, my heart beating in my throat. The room itself is warm, full of cedar and oak, but it feels unused. Empty. I doubt he's been here often. Still, having untapped access like this is thrilling. "Who the fuck are you?" I spin around, coming face to face with a tall, lanky boy wearing wireframe glasses and a pressed maroon polo with a mermaid on the front. I'd know that logo anywhere. Rockford Prep. A memory flies into my brain of the first time I saw it on the front of a brochure that was sitting on my uncle's desk. I was 14 at the time, and as I flipped through the pages, anticipation filled me to the brim, wondering if my uncle was finally tired of abusing me, of reminding me all the ways he hated my father, preaching in my ears that I was to pay for his sins. I shoved the brochure in my pocket and took it straight to Rue. "Do you think Uncle will send me there?" I can't help the way my words lift, hope springing into my voice. Rue hums, puffing on a cigar. "What you want to go to Marooners Rock for?" "To where?" He points to the brochure. "Rockford Prep. It's a boarding school, kept out on Marooners Rock, an island off the coast. You have to take a boat to get there, and they have a reputation for—" He hesitates. My eyes narrow. "For what?" "For fixing troubled youth, kid, and their methods aren't known to be friendly." My stomach churns, but I stiffen my jaw. Well, I still want to go. Rue huffs out a laugh, looking at me with a smirk. "Yeah? Think you could use a few good beatings to whip the Brit out of you?" Irritation at his brush-off mixes with the shame that lives in the fabric of my soul until it explodes out of me. "I've had worse, and for far longer." I stand up, stalking toward Rue, my suit hanging slightly loose on my 14-year-old frame. I'd do anything to get away from him. My voice is low. Rue's grin drops, his chair creaking as he snaps forward, meeting my eyes. "What the fuck is he doing to you, kid?" I never ended up going to Rockford Prep. I confessed to Rue some of my darkest secrets that day, desperation making my tongue loose, hoping that somebody would act in my favour, that someone would finally see me and understand. And he did. I'm not sure of the details, but after that night, the worst of it stopped. The beatings continued, of course, until I was old and strong enough to fight back, but my uncle never snuck in my room again. And even though Rue hasn't said a word since, I know he was the reason why. Smiling, I force my mind back to the present, placing my hands in my pockets, and rocking back on my heels. You must be John. Surprise flickers in my chest at how different he looks from Wendy. His chin juts out. Who's asking? I smile. I think I'll quite like this kid. I'm James, a friend of your sister's. She asked me to be here. His eyes narrow before he finally nods, walking over to me and sticking out his hand. Good. She needs a friend. My palm connects with his, and a small admiration grows for the boy, his loyalty to his sister something I respect. He doesn't drop eye contact for a second, and his grip is strong and sure. Oh! Wendy's voice comes from the entry to the office. You guys have met. Great. She glances around. What are you two doing in here? I open my mouth to answer, but before I can, John intervenes. I was just showing him around, he says. My brows lift in surprise. She grins. That's nice. You ready to go? His eyes dim, his finger pushing the glasses up his face. Yeah, let's go. As we make our way to my Audi, my phone vibrates in my pocket. I pull it out, glancing at the caller ID. Rue's name flashing across the screen. I brush my hand down Wendy's hair, reaching around her to open the passenger door. I have to take this call. I'll only be a moment. She nods, her and John settling in as I walk a few paces away. Rufus. Kid, where are you? We've got a business meeting in 3 hours. I'm gonna tell him that we're out. Another one of our investments didn't come through, and I don't trust this new guy as far as I can throw him. My stomach cramps as I glance back at Wendy and John, her head thrown back in laughter. I'm rather tied up at the moment, but I should be done by midday. Where are we meeting? Same as before. I'm heading there in a couple of hours, but I'll take one of the boys, don't worry. My teeth grind so hard I fear they'll break, my mind warring with indecision. I don't want Rue to go without me, but I gave Wendy my word, and if I back out now, I'll lose all the ground I've gained. Huffing out a breath, nausea churns in my gut. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. All right, kid, and don't make plans tonight. I'm done playing games. We got work to do. He hangs up, and I'm stuck staring at the phone, my mind going over all the possible scenarios that can get me there in time. Rockford Prep is an hour drive both ways, and Cannibal's Cave is another 30 minutes, but if I hurry, I can make it. Slipping my phone back in my pocket, I head to the car, unease swirling like a shark in my gut. First, I'll deal with Wendy, and then I'll deal with her father.
23. Wendy. I hadn't realized the school was on an island. For all of the worrying I've done the past few days, it didn't even cross my mind to Google the actual building. As our car was loaded on the ferry, my nerves ramped up, to the point where I could barely focus on the small talk between James and John, the two of them taking to each other like ducks to water. But once we're back on land, I'm able to focus in, and my chest warms as I listen to James give attention to my brother, the way I always wished our father would. And at some point, I know I'll need to give up my naive view of him. I'll have to stop remembering him as the dad who lifted me on his shoulders and told me I could help him run the world, and start seeing him as the stranger who likes to keep me small and useless. It's just hard to let go of someone, to let them drift away until they only exist in your memories. Once I do, I'll have to admit that maybe he never really existed at all.
Are you all right, darling?
James's voice snaps me from my thoughts, our car pulling into the lot of Rockford Prep. I force a grin, not wanting to focus on the absence of my father, choosing instead to think about how it's James here now, making sure John and I don't do this alone. The school itself is large, looming over us like a castle with steepled towers and arched windows, but the air surrounding it is heavy, suffocating. I brush off the feeling, hoping it's just my volatile emotions giving me a skewed view. Maybe he'll love it here. Looks nice, I say, trying to infuse a light-hearted tone into my voice. John stands next to me, his eyes taking in the building. James's hand rests on my lower back.
It looks rather dim, doesn't it?
John grins at him. I looked it up before I came. I knew what to expect. Surprise flows through me, my heart pinching at the fact that he's so easily shared with James what he hasn't shared with me. We move inside, a melancholy grip squeezing my lungs. I don't want to leave John here, if for no other reason than I'll miss him. Family has always been the most important thing in my world, and now it feels as though I'm in the middle of a riptide, watching as everything gets washed away and I'm left struggling against the current. The air in the main office presses around me with every step, and it's only when I feel James's hand on my back that I straighten my spine, allowing him to infuse some of his confidence into my bones. I lean into him for the support. There's a woman sitting behind the front desk, her gray hair pulled into a tight bun, glasses pinned to her shirt with beaded straps. "Hi," I start. "I'm here to drop off my brother. He's supposed to move in today." Her lips pinch as she takes me in, then moves her gaze to John, before finally resting on the man at my side. "Headmaster Dixon will be available shortly," she says. "Until then, you can sit down. I'll let you know when he's ready." Okay, thank you. I turn to go, but James's strong grip at my back keeps me in place.
I do apologize, miss.
He leans in over the top of the desk. The woman's eyes grow round, her lips turning up in the corner. "Mrs. Henderson."
Right, of course you're a Mrs. He purrs. Pity.
"Oh, now." She glances down, her cheeks gaining a rosy hue, and amusement dances through my chest at the fact he seems to be flirting.
I understand you and Headmaster Dixon must be extremely busy people. He continues, but we are rather in a hurry.
My brows pull in. We are?
You'd be doing me a great favor if you would let him know we're ready now.
Her grin drops, and it's no surprise, because while he sounds nothing less than a gentleman, there's an undercurrent of command in his tone, one that leaves no room for argument. She nods slowly, reaching out and picking up the phone, before speaking a few words and hanging back up. "I'll take you back," she smiles.
Wonderful.
James claps his hands together. John and I share a look, and James's palm comes back to rest on my lower back, propelling me into the hallway. Headmaster Dixon is a short, stocky man who sticks out his chest and smiles so wide you can see his wisdom teeth. He goes through the curriculum and promises John will be in good hands, especially being Peter Michael's kid, who he reminds us no less than 30 times that he's friends with. But for as much posturing as he exudes, he can't command a room the way James does just by existing within it. And for every question that James asks, Headmaster Dixon's voice grows tighter.
Do you have any other questions before we say goodbye?
Dixon says.
I'll have one of the head boys come down and show John to his room.
My throat starts to close, not wanting to say goodbye, and I reach out, my fingers tangling with James's. He squeezes my palm in his, bringing our joined hands to his mouth and pressing a kiss to the back. My stomach flutters.
You and John go wait in the lobby, eh? He says. I'm going to have a quick word with the headmaster.
My head cocks. For what?
Darling.
He brushes my hair behind my ear.
I want to take care of you, and that extends to your brother. I'm simply ensuring we're all on the same page.
Warm, gooey gratitude drizzles through my insides. Because he's here. Because he's going to make sure John has what he needs. Because he cares. I rise on my tiptoes, pressing a kiss to his lips. Thank you. He winks and spins me around, lightly pushing me into the hallway. I twist one last time to see him closing the door, the headmaster's eyes widening the slightest bit. What do you think he's doing in there? John asks once we're back in the front. I shrug. I don't know. Businessy type stuff, I guess. John hums. I like him. Smiling, I look over at him. I like him too. It's okay, you know, he says. What is? To be sad that I'm gone? My throat tightens, and my eyes look to the ceiling, trying to stem the tears. I swear I've cried more in the past 2 days than I have since my mother's death, and I'm sick of it. I hate feeling so weak. I am sad. I smile at him. But you're not too far, and I'm only a phone call away. He nods. I'll miss you, too. His arms wrap around me, and I close my eyes, the knot in my throat expanding until it burns. I love you, Wendy. The sting moves to rest behind my eyes, and my arms tighten around him. I love you, too. I'm sorry Dad isn't here. He pulls back, his jaw stiffening. We don't need him. James walks out of the hallway a few moments later, heading straight to John and handing him a piece of paper. I'd like you to take this number and put it in your phone. If you ever need anything, you call me. My heart skips at his gesture. The muscle in John's jaw twitches, his nostrils flaring. I'll be fine. Of that I have no doubt, James replies. His hand squeezes John's shoulder as he bends down to speak in his ear. I lean in close, straining to hear what he says. Just remember that whenever things feel bleak, all situations are temporary. It's not your circumstance that determines your worth. It's how you rise from the ashes after everything burns.
All right. And that has been today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed chapters 21, 22, and 23. If you're on Patreon, I'll see you tomorrow. If you are free 99, then I'll see you Monday when I stream 5 p.m. or Tuesday on the next episode. I love you guys all. Hope you have a wonderful day and peace.